Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
If there was one good thing that came out of last night's loss against the Oakland Athletics, is that the Angels no longer are in the month of August. It was a rough one. It's behind them. We turn the calendar page to September, and tonight it is Game 2 from Oakland, California. As we welcome you inside the O.Co Coliseum and back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West. I'm Victor Rojas, along with my partner, Mark Gubiza. And, of course, when you talk about September 1st, you talk about September call-ups. And as far as the Angels are concerned, they've needed a lot of help here of late, both offensively and on the pitching side. And we do have 9 guys with the Angels now.
Well, the big thing is, Victor, you mentioned that depth in the pitching staff, the way the bullpen has been used. And take a look at this list of guys that may indeed help the Angels in this month of September. David Freese, for sure, having that power back in that third base position. He's got 11 home runs. He can drive the ball to the whole field. It's going to be a big influence not only on the field, but certainly in the clubhouse. Matt Joyce, a guy that can come off the bench, maybe hit a ball out of the ballpark. But for me, though, it's all about that depth in the pitching. And they've been used an awful lot, from Joe Smith to Houston Street. You got Trevor Gott. All these guys piled up the innings. Starters need to go deeper in the game, but it's good to have that flexibility for the Angels now at the back end of that bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to last night, Hector Santiago unable to get through the third inning of last night's game, thus forcing the bullpen hand of Mike Scioscia. And today it'll be Matt Shoemaker on the mound for the Angels. See if he can follow up the start he had against the Tigers.
Well, he threw the ball so well, Victor, that last time out. Just one hit in 7 1/3. He dominated the strike zone, especially the lower part of the strike zone with his fastball. Very good split finger fastball. Also, just one walk, 5 punch-outs. You're going to face a guy named Cody Martin, who's never started at the major league level. 21 relief appearances for the Braves. You got to attack him early on the first or second pitches. The hitters have had a lot of success against him. Be aggressive, even though he's going to be a little bit nervous out there, especially pitching at home. You got to be aggressive and attack that fastball.
Well, let's see if Matt Shoemaker can get the Angels started right in the month of September, as we're just about ready for baseball here in Northern California. Sit back and relax. Lineups and first pitch when we return. Angels baseball is brought to you by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax, start here. By Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. By Foster Farms Fresh and Natural, locally grown with no added hormones. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Side of game 2 of this 3-game set. The Angels, of course, dropped the opening game last night by the final of 11-5. And tonight they will face a young man who's making his first major league start. A guy that was acquired from the Atlanta Braves a little over about a month ago, a little bit more than that, for an international bonus slot. And kid out of Gonzaga, 7th-round pick, so no real scouting report for the Angels. Been a starter at the minor league level. Braves had him at the big league level this year. Used him pretty much as a reliever.
Yeah, he's a guy with not an overpowering fastball. He's around 87 to 92. Will try to sink his fastball as a slider, curveball, and a changeup.
Check out the lineup Mike Scioscia's running out there tonight in game number 132. The Halos at 65 and 66 have Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols in the top third of the order, with Albert serving as a DH. David Murphy, Crone, and Ibar in the middle third of the order. David Freese back in the lineup. He's at third. Carlos Perez behind the plate. And Taylor Featherston getting to start tonight. He will bat ninth. And the young man that we were talking about is 25-year-old native of Dos Palos, California. His name is Cody Martin.
Yeah, it's a population of about 5,000, so he's certainly going to have those nerves close by in this area. He's an ERA at over 5 when he was a reliever with Atlanta in 21 games this season. So my go-tos to be successful against Martin: early pressure, the first or second pitch combined rated around a little over 500 batting average when you attack early in the counts, and drive the baseball to the gaps. Don't think in terms of always trying to pull the ball. Use the middle of the field, a spacious middle of the field here in Oakland.
Defensively for the Athletics, it's Smolinski, Pridey, and Reddick in the outfield from left to right. Laurie, Semien, Sogard, and Canna from third to first. And Vogt, who did not play last night, is behind the plate tonight.
And Sogard at second base. We've seen him make some solid plays throughout his career wearing that Oakland uniform against the Angels. 83rd start. He's committed 5 errors. That second base position. Also had 9 starts at short and 1 at third base. Very versatile for Bob Melvin.
Halos with the loss last night find themselves 7.5 back in the American League West, 3.5 back in the second wild card chase. Texas lost to the Padres last night, so the Angels did not lose any ground. You've got tonight and tomorrow afternoon here in Oakland. Then it's an off day on Thursday, and then the Rangers roll into town. They kick off a 9-game homestand beginning Friday night. Brett Laurie in on the grass over at third base as Cole Calhoun settles into the batter's box tonight. .261 average, 20 home runs, 67 runs batted in. Over 5 game last night. Swings at the first pitch and lifts one out toward left center. That's Pridey, the center fielder, underneath it, puts it away, and there's the first out of the game.
Boy, hit well by Cole to left center field. Mentioned at 0-0 counts against Martin this year. Hitter 6 for 11. 0-1 count, 375. 1-0 count, 7-14. 5 for 7 with 2 home runs, attacking him early in the count.
A little bit cooler night tonight, 64 degrees at first pitch. Trout hitting .296, 33 home runs, 74 runs batted in. He went hitless last night, 0 for 4. Did have a walk and scored a run. Angels out hit the Athletics 10-9. As a matter of fact, sent 7 men to the plate in the first inning and only scored once. Martin with the Atlanta Braves, 2-3 mark, a 5.40 ERA. Mentioned all in relief. Combined at AAA this year, 17 games, 16 starts, 4-7 and a 4.08. This one cued off the end of the bat, and that just gets by.
Look at the way that ball moved into the outfield also.
Mark Canna, the first baseman.
You can see
What
that
a
smile on
cue
the
shot.
face.
Batting in the third position.
It looks like a line drive, though.
Yeah.
Boy, as an infielder with Trout at the plate, you're expecting something hit like a rocket in the spin and underneath the glove. And the way it rolled into the outfield also. That didn't go down the line. It started working its way back in the middle of right field.
So man on for Albert. DH tonight in 249. A couple of hits last night, 2 for 4 with an RBI. Takes down low. C.J. Cron getting the start at first base tonight. Albert DHing for the 33rd game. Fouls that one back. Big rip on a high fastball.
Days for this game for the Eagles to be successful on a little journey, change for the better. August gone, September, and the importance of every single at bat from this point forward for the hitters to create an opportunity to score some runs and give the pitching staff some wiggle room, especially to make a mistake here or there.
10 and 19 month of August for the Angels. Offensively, they hit .221 with 23 home runs. And on the pitching side of things, had an ERA of over 5. Martin gets ahead at 1-2.
Slow curveball. Hasn't thrown a lot of curveballs to right-handed batters this year. A lot more sliders. He'll throw the curveball to left-handed batters.
Another off-speed pitch. See that ball cued off the end of the bat.
Certainly advantage for Martin early in the game when you haven't seen him before. That second time, third time through. Although you don't know how many pitches that Bob Melvin will allow him to have, especially pitches in relief for Atlanta much of the season.
Dos Palos, a small little suburban town. Merced County. Actually, a 7th round pick of the Atlanta Braves back in 2011. Same organization that drafted his dad, Chuck, back in 1984.
His dad played with Tom Glavine and a number of those great Atlanta Braves guys in the minor leagues.
Trout with a 1-out single, standing at first. Pretty good lead for Trout over at first base. Albert lines one towards second. Sogard's got it, fires to first. They're not going to get the double play. 2 outs.
Albert continues to chase pitches off the plate by quite a bit. That one's about a couple baseballs off the outside corner. And knowing how important it is for him to produce runs, but still for Albert to chase that far out of the strike zone is unusual, what we've seen over the past month or so.
So Trout still at first base. Here's David Murphy. Had the night off last night with Victorino getting to start in left field. David hitting .288, 8 home runs, 36 runs batted in. Murphy last played in Sunday's game against Cleveland, went 0 for 4. Homered in that series. It was on Saturday night. Shoots this one out to left field. Moving back on it is Jake Smolinski. Settles underneath it, makes the catch, and the Angels are done here in the first. Went to the bottom of the first inning. Matt Shoemaker on the mound. And a scoreless tie. Athletics, game number 133 for them. They will have Eric Sogard leading things off at second, Brett Laurie at third, Josh Reddick at right, Mark Canha, the Rule 5 pick at first base, Stephen Vogt behind the plate, Billy Butler at DH, Jake Smolinski in left, Jason Pridey in center field, and Marcus Semien batting ninth. And he is the shortstop. He's a take on Matt Shoemaker, making his 23rd start of the season. 6-9, a 4.48 ERA, and his last start was very good against the Tigers.
Yeah, 110 strikeouts in 124 2/3 innings pitched. Very, very good that last time. Like you mentioned, Victor, my go-to is why he was so successful. Strike percentage of his fastball, 66% of his fastballs he threw for strikes, and even better, split finger fastball for strikes, 46%. The combination of that fastball downstairs followed up with a splitter should be effective against this Oakland lineup.
Eric Sogard to lead things off, 243 hitter this year, 9 doubles, 27 runs batted in. And the first one's downstairs. Shoemaker in that last start went 7-3 against the Tigers. 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 hit, 95 pitches. This was chopped over to second. Featherston has it. 1 down. We will check out the Angels defense behind Matt Shoemaker tonight. Murphy, Trout, and Calhoun from left to right. Freeze, Ibar, Featherston, and Crone from third to first. Carlos Perez behind the plate.
And Mr. Freeze back at third base. This one of his last 43 starts at that position. First game back since July 22nd. He was excited not only to be able to swing the bat, but also be able to play some third base, to be back in that dugout and clubhouse, to be a presence for this team.
Laurie takes down and in. He was at second base last night, back at his familiar third base tonight. 0 for 4 game last night with 3 strikeouts. 269 average. We'll take upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Well, this A's team has struggled offensively this year. They've turned it around here of late, last week and a half or so. Hit about 290. Scoring just over 6 runs per game. Brett Laurie gets into one to left center field. Murphy will watch this one fly, and it's 1-0 Oakland.
Brett Laurie now 6 for 10 in his career versus Matt Shoemaker.
14th home run of the season for Brett Laurie. 53rd run batted in.
It's a pitch down, but is on the inner half of the plate and down. Brett Laurie sees the ball well against Shoemaker, attacked that one, and a no doubt home run.
Here's Josh Reddick. Takes low. Shoemaker's 22nd home run that he's given up this year. 1 ball, 1 strike on Reddick. He was down in the 7th spot in the order last night. Pardon me, the 8th spot in the order. Billy Butler in the 7th hole. Left-handed starter. 280 average, 15 home runs, 66 RBIs. Takes outside. It's 2-1.
We talked about the need to get ahead of counts and throwing strikes. Well, batters in a row for Shoemaker behind.
Three and 1. One thing that stood out from his last start against the Tigers, that he was on top of everything. Everything right over the top, good action. You saw some very defensive swings by Miguel Cabrera. When you see that, it means you're being very deceptive, hiding the baseball well. Late action. Fouls it back, pretty good rip.
Even Victor Martinez and J.D. Martinez
had
a tough time reading those pitches because, like you said, he was on top. But that allows him to have that good split finger fastball, and also his curveball and slider. That's a good depth to it.
Payoff pitch to Reddick. He cues this one up the third base line.
And the Freeze will let it roll. That's an infield base hit. Much you can do there as a third baseman. With 2 strikes, you're playing back at normal depth.
Especially with a left-handed batter up. And Reddick runs well. There's no way you're going to have a play. All you can do is hope for that baseball to roll foul. Off the end of the bat. And rolling down the line. It's right on the base, though. Certainly a threat to run. Reddick with 6 stolen bases in 7 attempts.
So Can at the plate. He's the first baseman. 253 average with 11 home runs, 54 runs batted in. Big 3-run home run last night. That was in the 6th inning. Only hit of the game. Went 1 for 3. Had 4 runs batted in. Chipped in with a sac fly later on. Shoots one out to left field, not very deep. Murphy comes in. 2 outs. Reddick gets back to first.
Got inside on him, a 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
Here's Stephen Vogt with 2 outs. Oakland up 1-0 on the Brent Laurie home run. Vogt having a very good season. 18 home runs, 67 runs batted in.
That good spot right there. He lives there the whole game. Then he threw that split finger fastball from the exact plane.
Just gonna say about Vogt, always seems to get big hits against the Angels. Outside. A 2-ball, 1-strike count again. That is asking for trouble, especially the way these guys have swung the bat here of late. Been able to work out of it. Although you have seen a couple of mishit balls as well, so movement seems to be there. Credit to Laurie for going down and getting that pitch that he hit the home run on. He evens up the count.
He's thrown 18 pitches so far in this game. Shu has 9 strikes, 9 out of the strike zone. It's a good time to try that split finger fastball, but make sure it's down and away.
Reddick gets back to the bag. He's leaning a little bit, maybe takes off. Two out towards shallow center field. Mike Trout comes racing in, calls off Murphy, makes a catch, and the inning is over. But Brent Laurie stakes the Oakland A's to a 1-0 lead with his 14th home run of the season as we head to the second. Upcoming Angels broadcast, and it's brought to you by T-Mobile. One nothing. Oakland on top. C.J. Cron, Eric Ibar, David Freese. Cron pulls the first one over to Simeon, the shortstop. One pitch, one out to start the second. Here comes Ibar.
And we talked about how well Eric Ibar has hit in this ballpark throughout his career. For his top career average, at least 250 or more at bats each year with a 358. But Eric Ibar right behind him at 346. They're Jeter at 338 and GA 323 in this ballpark. Not known as a hitter's ballpark, but Eric Ibar certainly has made it into one.
Eric Ibar takes low. Ibar hitting 278, couple of home runs, 38 home runs. Eric puts it a strike. Ibar last night with 3 hits, 3 singles, a sac fly, scored a run. 2 runs batted in. Fastball at 90. Evens a count at 2-2. By the way, it's Kerwin Danley calling the balls and strikes tonight. Chad Fairchild at first, Pat Holberg at second, Jim Joyce, the crew chief, at third. Like you said, it's one of those things you have to figure out one time through the order, kind of get the feel for what Cody Martin is featuring. Release point, pitches, the way he attacks hitters.
What pitches he'll throw at certain counts, ahead of the count, behind in the count. Left-handed batters versus right-handed batters, throws more curveballs and occasional change-ups against lefties. Very rarely throws his change-up to a right-handed batter. Will throw more sliders to a right-handed batter as compared to a lefty.
Ibar lifts one out to left field. It'll hang out for Smolinski. 2 outs. Well struck, but right to the left fielder. And here comes David Freese. First game back for David Freese since July 22nd, when he was hit on that right index finger against the Minnesota Twins. Broke the bone in that middle finger. It took a little bit longer this year for it to heal. Really, the throwing part of things. It seemed like he was swinging the bat fairly early in his recovery. But was still having discomfort throwing the baseball at the release point. Activated off the disabled list today. We thought he was going to be in the lineup last night. Bouncer to the left side. Brett Lawrie has it. Oilers go down in order. Canna keeps that foot on the bag. And we'll head to the bottom of the second with Oakland on top 1-0. Rangers at 7:05. Sprechen Sie Deutsch.
Oh, yeah.
Purchase your German package online and receive a German Angels hat and enjoy pregame entertainment at the Game One Music Garden. To purchase your package and for more info, just visit angels.com/German.
What if you Angel fans here today saw him down there doing the pregame show?
Matt Shoemaker back out on the mound. Oakland up 1-0. Billy Butler leading things off. Country Breakfast takes a strike. He's the DH. Hitting 238, 9 home runs, 48 runs batted in. Chopper up the middle. Featherston to his right has it. Plenty of time with Butler chugging down the line. There's the first out.
Especially that throwing arm that Featherston has. Also, is able to gather himself in a firm throw to first base.
Butler last night, remember, was part of the base running gaff, if you will. The bases loaded, nobody out, and the Angels almost, probably should have turned a triple play if Caleb's throw to the bag was true, but Butler was asked after the game, you know, what was going on in that situation. Remember, it was bases loaded, nobody out. And Billy Butler said he thought it was just second and third. These things happen. And that is hammered down the left field line, and that one is foul.
Wow.
Jim Joyce making the call. Smolinski thought he got it. He waited for it.
He's still looking down that line.
Yeah, and then started running down the line.
Bob Melvin's going to walk out. Well, Jim Joyce certainly had a great view right down the line.
It's tough for us to tell here from our angle.
Yeah, you see, if you see the baseball all the way through, and you do, you know it never went around that foul pole. Hit well, but a strike.
I wonder if this is a crew chief review here. That's exactly what it is, because they're going to look over.
And again, when you can see that going down the line, if it's around the foul pole, you'll be able to see the difference. You just saw the baseball clearly all the way past the foul pole.
Well, Smolinski thought he got it because he waited at home plate. He knew he had the distance. And then as he saw it go by the foul pole, he started jogging down the line. Just showed you the review, though, and it appeared as if that ball did go foul. Kerwin Danley on the right, Jim Joyce on the left. This is going to be a quick one here.
Wow, that was fast.
And it is a foul ball. So a long strike for Jake Smolinski. It's an 0-1 count on the left fielder, hitting .202, 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in.
It's good rule, a foul ball. Confirmed.
It's Jan, hits a little flare behind the bag. Featherston has it. 2 outs.
Featherston pretty active already in this game.
Yeah.
That's the third play he's made already.
What a difference a pitch makes, right?
It was a good angle to be able to see. That's why they were so quick. It took them 50 seconds to make this decision.
And the other thing they're looking at as well is not so much that. I mean, they're looking to see if there's any type of redirection. Because if it just grazes it, touches it, it's a fair ball. Camera work as always. Here's Jason Pride, the center fielder, up from AAA. He was hitting .310 with 20 home runs and 89 runs batted in. Pride is second round pick at 0-2 by the Tampa Bay Rays. 3 balls, no strikes. Friday's had a couple of cups of coffee in the big leagues. Minnesota, Phillies, the Orioles, and the Rockies. Looks at a strike 3-1. He signed in the offseason with Oakland. I can imagine Billy Beane's thought process in signing a guy like Friday is maybe I can strike gold again, a Brandon Moss type hitter.
Yeah, and he's done a pretty good job with that.
And he draws the walk. 2-out walk puts a man on, and it'll bring up Marcus Semien.
Semien with good career numbers against Shoemaker, 4 for 10 with a home run. Generally pretty aggressive on the first pitch.
Number 10, Marcus Semien.
Semien hitting .255, 11 home runs, 35 runs batted in his first season with the Athletics. Multi-hit game last night, going 2 for 4. Here comes Mike Butcher out after the walk to Priddy with 2 outs, and now follow behind of Semien.
He wants to make sure he's back to being aggressive like he was in Detroit. He's running into some tough times, especially with the home run ball. He's falling behind in counts.
Kerwin Danley out to break up the meeting. Semien caught the ceremonial first pitch thrown by the Cal Berkeley National Championship swim team, women's swim team. Semien went to Berkeley, as did Mark Canha. As a matter of fact, Canha and Semien teammates at Berkeley. Marcus came over from the White Sox in the Samardzija deal. Canha was a Rule 5 selection. Friday had 20 stolen bases at AAA this year. Caught 3 times. 14 seasons in the minor leagues, 223 bags. Pretty good combination, power and speed.
Yeah, that's pretty
at
good
the minor
lead.
league level anyway. 1-1. Semien pulls one to left field, a base hit.
He brings his hands in very well on a fastball upstairs. He turned on that one at 91.
So 2 on, 2 outs. Top of the order now, Eric Sogard. Sogard grounded out in the bottom of the first. He's 0 for 1. One ball, no strikes.
That's a pretty good pitch. We're part of the strike zone at 92.
Both Murphy and Trout playing shallow in left and center. Cole a little bit deeper in right. 1-1. Shoemaker trying to avoid kind of what happened to Hector Santiago last night in the 3rd inning. 2-out letdown. The back-to-back walks eventually evolved into a 5-run third inning, trying to keep us a 1-0 deficit. Brett Lawrie with a home run in the first. Cued off the end of the bat toward third, forced out at third base. That is a foul ball. Jim Joyce calling it foul, so the ball made contact with Freese in foul territory.
And once it gets by that base, that's when it's the third base umpire's call. Ron Washington wants to know exactly how he was able to make that determination. It was foul.
Jim Joyce said, almost looked like he said, no, it didn't, as far as.
Yeah, see, that ball is by the base when it hits Freese.
Question is, did it go over any part of the base?
Yeah, it definitely hooked foul right at the base. That's some spin on that.
Great shot here.
That's awesome camera work.
Yep. Right off the leg and shoots up.
Somebody don't want to see that baseball hit that throwing hand where he had the finger issue, the broken bone.
The 1-2. Zogard breaks his bat and rolls one to Featherston. Goes on. The first inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left on. We'll head to the third. The Angels down 1-0.
Tomorrow afternoon game. Andrew Heaney 5-2 with a 3.11 against Sonny Gray, 12-6 with a 2.13 ERA. An outstanding pitching matchup for an afternoon game.
Halo setting up 8-9-1 here in the third. Perez, Featherston, and Calhoun against Cody Martin. His first major league start. No strikeouts, no walks, 1 hit allowed. And that was the ball that Trout cued off the end of the bat. Got into right field past Cannon at first base in the first inning. You saw the numbers for Sonny Gray, who's getting to start tomorrow. Leads the American League in ERA. Kind of a forgotten man the way Dallas Keuchel has pitched this year. If anything can happen in the month of September. But Keuchel right now has got to be, you would think, the front runner for Cy Young.
You would think so.
And with obviously with the momentum that the Astros have gained this year as the season has progressed, and going from are they suspects, are they legit, April and May, to now still leading the division, continue to extend their lead in the division.
And he's pitched unbelievable at home. When the ERA was at 1.3 at home in that ballpark. He's really led that club. Even when they had those little tough stretches, they can always count on him. And that's a true ace of a staff. Will you stop losing streaks and continue winning streaks. And you pitch deep into games.
Carlos shoots from the right field. It's a leadoff single. Keuchel saw a quote today from him. I think it was last night after the game. Paraphrasing here, of course, but that his object going out there every time when he's pitching is to throw the baseball right down the middle and have it have a little late life at the very end.
And we say that a lot about, especially like somebody like Garrett Richards with his movement. This trust, it is never going to stay straight down the middle of the plate.
Yeah.
And hitters can still get themselves out if that's the case. When you get ahead of the count as a hitter, that's when you have a better chance of squaring up a baseball.
There's Featherston getting to start tonight at second, batting in the ninth spot.
He's going to be asked to bunt. Quick throw over there just to see if he would square around.
Taylor hitting 130 with a home run, 3 doubles, 5 RBIs. Upper back strain forced him to the disabled list, activated and brought up to the big leagues today. Angels did DFA 2 players, Drew Rosinski and Alfredo Marte. Does bunt here, and he bunts it foul. Angels needing a 40-man spot for Wesley Wright, lefty, who's added to the bullpen.
It's good to see some extra arms out in the bullpen. These guys have really pitched a lot of innings of late. Some depth down there for them.
Not bunting, lines one just beyond the reach of Sogard out to right center field. Perez will go to third. Taylor stops at first base, so the Angels have runners at the corners with nobody out here to third.
That's a real solid swing for Taylor to stay back on that. Used a big part of the field. We talked about gap to gap against Martin today. Stayed back well, shortened his swing up. Remember early in the season, had a little bit of a long swing for Featherston. Just shorten it up, making good contact, and he hit that ball very well.
Cole hit a fly ball to center field on the first pitch of the ball game. She's 0 for 1.
See what adjustments are made now that second time through against Martin. Very good in his first 2 pitches of a plate appearance, over 400. But as the at bat progresses, struggle, especially because he'll chase that higher pitch out of the strike zone.
Back-to-back singles. Cole with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Angels down 1-0 here in the third. Down 30 pitches thrown by Martin. 21 of it strikes. And around the zone, Taylor with 3 stolen bases. He's been caught 1 time this year. Little dribbler to the right side. Canna has it. He's only placed to first, and he missed the bag. Everyone is safe, and this game is tied at 1.
Well, the Angels getting a break there. Looked like a little bit of confusion the whole time through that whole process of trying to field that ball and then make the throw to first. McKenna making the play, and then the throw over as Martin is not there at the base. You get right to the base, and then you get yourself in position to stretch. but nowhere near the bases. Cole gets an infield hit and an RBI.
Almost like indecision on the part of Canada, too, because
he thought about throwing to second, it looked like initially, or even potentially to home.
Yeah, I thought home because Carlos didn't break immediately.
And we've seen him play the outfield. That's a little different throw as you're going to be off balance at first base to have that throw to the plate.
Cole credited with a single and an RBI, 68th run batted in. Here's Trout. Mike 1 for 1 with that base hit. Got by Canham. Carlos with the leadoff single. It's the Angels' first run. Nice. 2-0.
Hanging slider. A little bit lower in the strike zone. That baseball could have gone a long, long way.
Three-0 with Pujols on deck.
We said it a couple times now. The Trout doesn't swing a whole lot. 3-0. But if he gets a fastball here and it's in his zone, especially lower part of the strike zone, I'd love to see him attack it.
Just missed, and there's ball 4. They're loaded up. A borderline pitch. Here comes Kurt Young to pay a visit.
Look at our pitch by pitch. And Martin didn't seem like he wanted to throw many strikes here to Mike Trout. Curveball, slider upstairs, fastball, cut fastball off the plate, followed by a two-seam fastball that didn't quite get that outside corner. Was staying away from Trout consistently in that at bat.
Just looked up the 3-0 count situation. 4 at bats, 1 for 4. 22 walks, now 23 walks. 12 have been intentional.
Some guys are comfortable doing that. I actually asked Paul Sorrento the other day about that with Mike Trout, and he said he's even talked to him and said sometimes think in terms of expanding your normal routine and attacking that. But some guys are never real comfortable swinging 3-0, knowing they're probably going to get the very same pitch 3-1.
Albert, same guy, same thing. 1 for 3, with 1 being a home run. He's actually pulled the trigger. Bases loaded, nobody out. And a 1-0 count on Albert. A little soft line at Eric Sogard in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Bouncer foul. Good speed, all the bases around. That hits Pujols.
Looks like he got him in the ribs.
Yeah. The Angels will take a 2-1 lead the hard way. Pujols get credited with the run batted in.
Well, that got him square right on the rib area. And Albert's about as tough as it comes. But that baseball got him square. Wow, you can hear that sound. He's kind of flicking away like, yeah, I'm all right.
Doing that to Trout, of course.
Of course he would.
Here's David Murphy. Base is still loaded. Murphy will look at a breaking pitch for a strike.
And Albers had a lot of career RBIs, but that's not the kind of RBI he liked to get too often. Boy, that sound was unbelievable.
Murphy bounces this one to Cannon. Double clutches, no play at the plate. They get the force out at first. The run scores, and the Angels have a 3-1 lead.
Decision once again from Cannon. Thought he might have had a shot at the plate.
Number 24.
And what we've seen over the years, and it's worked pretty well for the most part, there's a lot of guys playing different positions, out of positions for Oakland as they try to mix and match with their roster. Their defense certainly has hurt them this year as far as fielding percentage and the amount of errors they had. Even though that doesn't go down as an error, there might have been a play, especially being a forced play at the plate.
Crow pulls one foul, almost takes out Trout. No bueno.
That's all that exercise he was doing as far as jumping on that high box and stuff the last couple of years got out of the way.
TJ grounded out to short in the second inning. Infield back for Oakland. Crow shoots one out to right field. Raddick racing over. He'll make the catch. Trout tags. He'll come in to score. And Crow picks up a sac fly to make it 4-1 Halos.
Pretty good situational hitting in this inning for the Angels. Good swing from C.J. Crow. We talked about that of late, how well he's hitting the ball the other way. And the job done with a sac fly. And Trout's going, hey man, what are you trying to do? The baseball almost got me down the line.
Pujols stays at second. 2 outs, and here's Eric Ibar, 8th man to bat here in the third. Eric, a liner out to left field in the second inning, so he's 0 for 1. Caught the inside corner. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Couple of good swings against Cody Martin here in the third inning. As I mentioned, second time through the order now. Ibar takes low for ball 2.
Five pitches thrown in this inning alone for Martin.
Action in the Oakland bullpen. In front of Alfredo Griffin. Arnold Leon getting ready. Was called up from AAA today. Ball inside.
Might be his last batter if Eric Ibar gets on base.
Three-two on the way. Ibar bounces this one to Cannon, first base. Flips it to Cody Martin. That's the third out, but not before the Angels strike for 4 runs here in the third inning. We'll head to the bottom of the frame with the Angels up 4-1.
base. A little high throw to first base with the base loaded potential triple play. You see better angle right here. He steps on the base for some reason. Billy Butler went back to third base. Forgot there was bases loaded. Thought it was second and third. Eventually, you have to apply a tag after that force out. Third base, nearly a triple play. The old, I thought it was second and third.
Yep. 4-1 Angels here in the bottom of the third inning. Brett Laurie, Josh Reddick, Mark Canha due up for Oakland. Laurie fouls off the first pitch. He homered in the first. 14th of the year, 53rd run batted in.
They always say the pitcher's best friend is a double play, but I've always preferred the triple play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever seen one for your team?
No.
Against you? Or not? I mean, not against you, but against the Royals?
I don't even remember. No.
No, there you go. Sometimes they have it so quickly, it's like it doesn't dawn on you till after the fact. Especially when you get a tricky play like that, when you got multiple base runners. You're talking about force plays and tagging runners. Sometimes you got to sort it all out.
Exactly.
You know? Caleb hanging out on the bench tonight. David Freese back in the lineup. I'll tell you what, he settled down though. Caleb did after his first 5-6 games swinging the bat. Good, great defense over at third base. Looked very comfortable over there.
Went 8 for his last 25 at the plate. Certainly very good with the glove.
Brett Laurie with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Leadoff man here to third for Oakland. Shoemaker, no strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 hits allowed.
He doesn't throw a ton of curveballs or sliders, but this would look to be the time to try one of those down and away. It's Brett Laurie.
There it is, 1 down.
But a few pitches in that at bat, some good swings. This Laurie in a perfect slider off the outside corner. Great location. Good job by Carlos Perez going with that pitch after some good swings against some high fastballs.
Reddick had an infield base hit in the first. Off the end of the bat towards short.
Too bad. It's a quick transfer for Eric Ibar to make that play. Let's check out the AT&T Universe Rewind. Let's go back to that last start on Thursday in Detroit. For the local boy, Matt Shoemaker had it working. 5 punch-outs in 7th to 3rd. 1 hit with his mom and dad, his wife, his son. Bunch of family there in Comerica Park. What a job he did. Dealt in that game. Great career numbers against the Tigers, but that's his first start he had at Detroit.
Mark Canha 0 for 1. Fly ball to left field.
Another good slider. Very important pitch to have working against right-handed batters. You have that split finger fastball. You can work effectively against the left-handed batters.
And Oakland splits this year, but pretty much down the middle. 252 against lefties, 253 against right-handers. Got Kerwin Danley. No balls, 2 strikes. Halos in the 4th have the bottom 3rd of their order coming up. David Freese, Carlos Perez, Taylor Featherston here. Angels sending 8 men to the plate in the 3rd inning, scoring 4 runs. Just off the plate. And shoots one out toward right center. Trout was shading him that way, and he will make the catch as Matt Shoemaker has himself a 1-2-3 shutdown inning. We head to the 4th. Angels still on top. The Dodgers for a 3-game set beginning at 6:05. Remember, that's Labor Day on Monday. Purchase your tickets at the Angel Stadium ticket office or online. 4-1 Angels, top of the 4th inning. Freeze, hitting things off. We'll look at the strike. Get it grounded out in the 2nd inning. Shoots this one to the right side, and it's a base hit. Leadoff man is on board for the 2nd consecutive inning.
Good piece of hitting from Freeze. Seen some good swings early on. Stayed back on this one well. Shoots that ball. Got level shoulders in the bat through the zone. Hit the ball that way.
There's Carlos Perez, who led off the 3rd with a base hit and scored one of the 4 runs.
We've got to put a hit and run on.
It's like Leona's back up and loosening for Oakland. Martin has thrown 50 pitches, 32 strikes, no punch outs, 1 walk, 1 hit batter, and now 5 hits allowed.
Long look down there to Gary DiSorcina. A lot of room, especially on that right side of the infield.
One. Pretty good pitch. Carlos gets the call, and it's 2-1 now.
Cut fastball, lower part of the strike zone. Great count to do some action right here.
Three balls, one strike. Featherston on deck. You wonder if Melvin pulls the shoot here on Cody Martin early. Full count. Outfield very shallow for Oakland. Freese takes off. Perez shoots from the right. The hit and run works. Freese will head to third base. The throw from Reddick not in time. So the Angels, for the second straight inning, have runners at first and third with nobody out.
Another good
Bob
swing.
Melvin.
Yeah, another good swing from Carlos.
Two-hit game for the Angels catcher.
See some good approaches. Is trying to stay back and use the other part of the field. A lot of pitches away from Martin in this game. Don't try to pull it. Hit the ball the other way. Good job there going first to third. Aggressive so far tonight.
Well, with nobody out here in the fourth inning, the Angels chase the Athletic starter Cody Martin, his first major league start. He departs with a couple of men on, and the Angels up 4-1. Start. First action at the big league level with the Oakland Athletics since being acquired from the Atlanta Braves. 3+ innings, 6 hits, 4 runs. He's responsible for the 2 guys on base. It's our in and out, who's in, who's out. And it's Arnold Leon, right-hander, native of Mexico, 26-year-old. They begin to face Taylor Featherston with Freese standing at third, Perez over at first. Has some time in the big leagues this year, and the Angels faced him earlier this season. Taylor fouls this one back 0-1.
And Leon has a pretty good fastball, 90-95 slider. You saw that one there, curveball and changeup.
Total of 12 2/3 innings at the major league level this year. 16 hits, 14 strikeouts, and 2 walks. He's pitched 1 inning against the Angels. He's given up a run on 2 hits. He takes inside. He's accounted 1-1.
See if Taylor keeps that same approach he had that first bat. Shorten up his swing. This line drive in the right center field.
Infield playing halfway with Featherston at the plate.
He tried to turn into that curveball.
Now the 2-2. Ground ball toward the middle. Semien gloves it. Flips it to Sogard. Relay back to first. What a double play turned by the A's as the Angels get their 5th run and lead it 5-1. But wow.
I'll tell you what, that's going to go down as one of the better plays you're going to see the entire season. This baseball looked like it was destined to be a base hit up the middle. What a play by Semien. The quick flip, and then Sogard completes the double play. But what a play by Semien. Great range. And a perfect flip. Even though he has quite a few errors this year, Semien, he's got a chance to be a very good shortstop. Perfect flip. Wow.
Sorry, Gooby. Such a tough play, playing halfway, so you're limiting your range there. He doesn't get it. It's another 1st and 3rd with a run in and nobody out. Instead, bases clearing. Cole swings the first one against Leon and fouls it off. No RBI for Featherston.
What range and a perfect flip, and then the completion of the double play. But Semien, that's just tremendous athleticism to get to that baseball, to react that quickly, and still have a perfect feed with the glove.
There's Ron Washington as Cole rips one into center field for a base hit. Washington brought back on board with Oakland. He's kind of a defensive genius, and that's what he was as their 3rd base coach. He handled the infield for a long time. Left, went to Texas to be their manager. They brought him back, and now he's been reinstated as the 3rd base coach as the A's let Mike Gallego go.
And when we were back here, what, it was in June, about 19th or so, Semien had 22 errors at that point. Now just with 32, so he's done a much better job, and Ron Washington's really working hard trying to get the best out of him. He's got a chance to be a very solid shortstop.
Cole with his 2nd hit. Now Trout up. He's 1 for 1 with a single, a walk, and a run scored. It's 5-1 Angels here in the 4th inning. Two balls, no strikes. Kerwin Danley not calling that bottom part of the strike zone tonight.
Yeah, we see quite a few breaking pitches on that spot. It looked like it could be called strikes. Rio count again. You wonder if it is time. Take a shot.
Put a wager on?
No.
Small weight?
Yes.
2-1. 3-1. About as close as sure bet.
Especially that's his zone where he crushes the baseball. A fastball, middle part of plate, and down at the knees.
Cole with a short lead at first base. And he walked him. So 2 on, 2 outs. Pujols coming up.
Tried on base 3 times already tonight.
Now batting, number 5, Albert Pujols.
Albert lined out softly the first inning and was drilled in the rib cage with the bases loaded in the third. Eventually stranded at second base. Picked up his 77th run batted in. He's got 2 on now. Just trying to extend their 5-1 lead here in the fourth.
Back to my Hyundai key for this game, change for the better. Talked about the month of August being over with, new month of September coming in, 5 runs already. Good start for the Angels.
Stephen Vogt went out to have a conversation. Now Kurt Young will make the passive walk to the mound. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Tigers beat Kansas City 6-5 tonight. Verlander was on the mound.
Boy, is he throwing the ball well.
Yeah.
What, his last 7-8 starts?
Minnesota defeated the White Sox 8-6. Seattle leading Houston 7-5. That game's in the 9th. Logan Morrison with a pinch hit 2-run home run. Yankees over Boston 3-1. Tampa over Baltimore 11-2. Toronto defeated Cleveland 5-3. Texas currently leading the Padres 3-2. That game's in the 4th. Here it is 5-1 Angels. 1 out, pardon me, 2 outs, 2 on. 4th inning. 1-1.
That rib cage will be sore tomorrow morning. You think overnight. That sound that he heard when he was hit by that pitch. He's still trying to move around a little bit in this game.
Two balls, 2 strikes. They on at the minor leagues at AAA Nashville this year, 2-5 and a 2.95 ERA. 55 punch outs in 58 innings. Good pitch, a drive right over the heart of the plate. That pitch could not have been placed any better in the central square of a hitting zone. And he had a good pass at it. Fouls it back, 2-2 still.
I said that was our scouting report against Rod Carew.
Right down the middle.
There. Wouldn't know what to do with it.
Calhoun at second, Trout at first. Foul. Would Ted Williams be the first guy to really talk about the different quadrants of a strike zone for a hitter anyway? What was his book? Was it The Art of Hitting or something to that
I
effect?
think that's what it was.
Wasn't the book cover, wasn't that a strike zone? He was talking about the different areas of a strike zone.
Yeah, exactly. And he knew exactly what area would be the best chance for him to be successful with a swing. His vision was unbelievable.
Chopper towards short. Semien goes to second. They force down Trout. The inning is over. The Angels do get a run as we head to the bottom of the fourth. It's 5-1 Angels. Up by the score of 5-1, 7 hits through 4 innings as Matt Shoemaker goes back to work here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Matt had a 1-2-3 third. He'll face Vogt, Butler, and Smolinski for Oakland. Stephen Vogt hit a fly ball to center field to end the first innings. He's 0 for 1.
Azusa Pacific product. Every day driving down to that 210, going by that area, there's a big sign congratulating for making the All-Star team.
Two balls, one strike. At what point in your drive would you pass by Azusa Pacific?
Time-wise or mileage?
Like no, but like when you get to that area, you're like, all right, I'm down the home stretch, or how much more of the drive do you have?
I'm getting closer to the 57 at that point.
Close.
I'm feeling better about myself once I get to the 57.
So by the time you get there, it's your third Starbucks stop, right?
Yeah, I've got a pretty good edge at that point.
You're looking for the drive-through Starbucks. Yep. Vogt goes down swinging on the off-speed pitch. One down, second strikeout for Shoemaker.
I'm looking forward to seeing Mike Scioscia making that similar drive down there. Good off-speed pitch. See how he was pulled off on that pitch?
Billy Butler steps up. He's 0 for 1. Grounded out to Featherston, leading off the second. Butler got off to a terrific start with his new teammates in April, hit .287. He's cooled off considerably as the season's progressed. This would bounce toward the hole, backhanded by Ibar. And Butler thrown out.
That's incredible.
The country breakfast just couldn't get there in time. 2 outs.
We see 2 unbelievable plays made by shortstops tonight. And he's going down thinking he has an infield hit, but that strong arm from Eric Ibar gets him at first. I mean, that is way out the outfield. That's not 1 or 2 steps. That's about 4 or 5 steps. On the 10-yard line.
Yeah. To allow pattern toward the sideline. Here's Smolinski. Looks at a strike. He lined out softly to Featherston in the second innings. He's 0 for 1. Check swing, little one hopper for C.J. Cron. Another 1-2-3 inning for Matt Shoemaker. We head to the 5th. Angels leading at 5-1. Ball is brought to you by the Dodge Charger. With an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon, this car was made for driving in California. Visit Dodge.com. And by AT&T U-verse. More live channels on the go than cable. Beautiful shot of the Bay Area. Halos up by the score of 5-1 as we start the 5th inning. It'll be Murphy, Cron, and Ibar. Nice cool night for baseball. Great weather here. In the distance, you hear the Cal Band playing down the left field line here. There they are.
Nice.
Part of them. Murphy swinging a miss.
Where's the Stanford Band?
Ooh. They might be on the first base side.
Yeah. Just check. College football right around the corner.
Is that our producer Jeff Kibler on trombone? Murphy shooting one down the left field line, and that is a fair ball into the corner.
I think it was. On cue.
Murphy over
going that way
with a leadoff double. Murphy's 17th of the year. Kid played. Did he play trombone? Trumpet or something?
Played in the band
at UNLV.
Yes.
Now batting, number 24.
Good piece of hit, and we've said that a number of times tonight for the Angel hitters going the other way.
Three straight leadoff singles for the Angels. Perez in the 3rd inning, Freeze in the 4th, and now Murphy, the 2-base hit to start off this 5th. C.J. Cron 0 for 1. He had a sac fly in the 3rd inning, picking up his 30th run batted in.
Another good swing.
fouled off into the seats. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Season series tied up 7-7. Angels here in this ballpark 3-4 at the O'Donco with the loss last night, trying to even that up tonight. Halos, after taking 2 of 3 for the Tigers, have now lost 4 in a row. The old spin move that never works. Reaching for this one. Simeon goes to third base, and Murphy is tagged out. David trying to take a chance on a ball hit in front of him, or to the left side of the infield. Gets thrown out for the first down. Crone reaches on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, he thought he might have a shot because it's behind him on the ground ball, but still Simeon has a good throwing arm. He reacts well, but right away Simeon makes the perfect throw over to third base as the tag is applied by Brett Lordy. Especially with no outs. He was trying to go up the middle to the right side of the infield, C.J. Crone. And a nice play. A couple really good plays in this game by Simeon.
Eric Ibar's 0 for 2 with a fly ball to left and a ground ball to first. Eight hits for the Angels through 4 1/3. Cody Martin ended up giving up 5 runs, all earned. 3 innings, 6 hits, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Did hit a batter. That was Pujols with the bases loaded. His first major league start, first appearance with Oakland. Upstairs, 2-0. Laced foul into the seats. 2-1 count. Angels will have Andrew Heaney on the mound tomorrow afternoon up against Sonny Gray. And they will return home. Off day on Thursday. Texas Rangers in town. A weekend series. Dodgers in town Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The Astros. This one's fouled off a vote. 2-2.
We have 7 games left. The Rangers 6 with the Astros and 4 with the Twins.
Freeze on deck. Bar takes low, full count. Crow takes off. This one fouled back. He'll reset and do it again. 31 pitches for Leon. Crone takes off again. Ibar. That's this one foul on the batter's box.
Pretty long at bat here for Erg.
For the first time in a while, time of possession has favored the Angels. Good to see, whether it's plate appearances or innings. Bounce toward first, foul. Oakland starts to get action in their bullpen now. So we have to look forward to for the next 31 games. 40-man rosters expanding. Tons of pitchers, tons of options. Changes the game completely in the month of September. This one hit sharply to second. Sogard, a little bit of a bobble, still gets it to Semien for one. Low throw, dug out by Canna. And that's a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. We head to the bottom of the fifth inning. Angels still on top.
Forester, or go to Subaru.com to learn more. Halos with a 5-1 lead as we begin the bottom of the fifth inning. Matt Shoemaker's retired 7 in a row since giving up the 2-out single to Marcus Semien in the second. He'll face Priddy, Semien, and Sogard here in the fifth. 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. Gave up the home run to Brett Laurie in the first inning. Jason Priddy drew a walk in the second. Those with 2 outs. That falls behind here, 2-0.
3-0. Fell behind on Friday 3-0 before walking him eventually in the second. Three infielders on the right side with Bryant in the plate. This was bounced over to first. I think he took a little funny hop there with Cronin had to change the direction of his glove. One down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. One out, nobody on. Marcus Semien at the plate. There's Stomper. Roman stands.
Oh, yes.
You know our producer Jeff Kibler once played a mascot while in college, along with the trombone.
Did he really? He's amazing. He is. Well, he may be now the most interesting man. Hung out with Frank Sinatra too.
Yes, he did. On his birthday. Old Blue Eyes.
Now that's living.
Yeah. Trombone for the harp. 2 balls and a strike. Semien with a single in the second. Just like a young Jeff Kibler right there.
No question.
That bouncer found 2-2. Oh, he foul tipped into the mitt. 2 down. Good fastball away.
Some good velocity on the fastball too at 92.
Third strikeout for Matt.
Paints that outside corner. And Semien very quick on the inner half. We saw that his first at bat. 70 pitches thrown. 19 in the first inning, but since that point, each inning got better, quicker through innings.
Ground ball toward the middle. Featherson can't come up with it. Goes off his glove. Sogard will turn and stop there. A single for Sogard. His first hit of the night. So he's 1 for 3. Loy, home run and a strikeout. So he's 1 for 2. Throw to first. Sogard back. Oakland 7th in the American League in stolen bases with 62. Sogard has 6. It's been caught once.
Certainly know Brett Lawrie is very, very aggressive. First pitch fastball. Break a ball might be a pretty good pitch against him.
Dan Otero still warming for Oakland, so it looks like he will pitch the 6th. Oh, what pitch? Just did. Carlos, occasionally catchers look up, see the hitter's eyes, see if they move, if they're peeking back.
Real good catchers can kind of figure out what a hitter's looking for.
Yep.
Sometimes hitters will move up a little bit in the batter's box if he anticipates a breaking ball. Further back in the batter's box if he's anticipating, especially with a guy with a good fastball. See how he peeks up to see.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Laurie. The third out of the inning. Strikeout number 4 for Shoemaker. 5 in the books. 5-1 Angels. Pacific. Jim Harbaugh makes his debut as head coach of his alma mater, leading Michigan to Utah to take on the Ute squad that knocked off the Wolverines last year in Ann Arbor. The only place you can see it is on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go as the Cal band plays the Cal fight song in the background. Perfect timing.
Yes.
It's 5-1. Top of the 6th inning. Bottom third of the order, Freeze, Perez, and Featherston. It's Dan Otero pitching over on the mound. 31st game, 2-4 record, is 7.68 ERA.
No runs allowed in 22 innings pitched for Otero versus the Angels.
Ground ball to first. Canna has it. Takes it himself, 1 away. David 1 for 3 in his return.
Otero with a power sinker. He's 88 to 91 range with his fastball. Slider curve changeup.
Number 58, Carlos Perez.
Leon, by the way, went 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, no runs. Otero, the third pitcher, used by Bob Melton. Carlos Perez looks at a strike. He's 2 for 2 with a couple of singles and a run scored. One ball with strike. Down and in. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Angels have left 4 base runners. Oakland with 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. They've stranded 4. Caught the inside corner.
Keeps most of his pitches when he's rolling Otero downstairs in the strike zone.
Full count. Terra doesn't waste a whole lot of time, does he?
Stays right there. Works downstairs.
3-2. Broken bat roller to the left side. Brett Lawrie has it. 2 down. Featherston 1 for 2. Single and a double play ball. He scored a run. Angels scored 4 times in the 3rd inning, adding their 5th run in the 4th.
What a play by Simeon on that. Looked like it was going to be a base hit for Featherston. Would have been his 2nd hit of the game. Base hit in the right center field. It looked like he had a base hit up the middle.
Oh, 2 count. Featherston lifts one out to right. Reddick moving over. The Angels go down in order. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Angels leading at 5-1. Coming up, it's an all-new Gooby Tuesday. Who would you most like to play catch with? Find out with some Angels players set next.
Would you like to play catch with?
I'd probably say Ken Griffey Jr. I mean, I feel like every player that grew up playing baseball around my age idolized Ken Griffey Jr. growing up.
My favorite player growing up was Kenny Lofton, so I got to meet him early in my career.
Probably Tim Wakefield, to be honest, just to see a knuckleball coming at me, because I've never really had a good glimpse at a good knuckleball. So I'd like to see maybe like Chuck Huff or something like that. A guy with a good knuckleball, I think.
Pretty cool to be able to play catch with a knuckleball. Mine would obviously have another opportunity to play catch with my dad, but Steve Carlton would be the guy I would love to play catch with. That slider, lefty. He's one of my all-time favorite players watching growing up in the Philadelphia area. So lefty, play catch with him.
Make sure he throws sliders at you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. See if he can catch them.
Oh, yeah.
It's the bottom of the 6th inning, 5-1 Angels. Josh Reddick takes a breaking ball low. It'll be Reddick, Canna, and Vogt at the bottom of the 6th.
What about you, Victor? What do you think?
Oh, young Mark Kubica.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the mullet.
All right.
Yeah, just so I can see it flowing in the wind.
Here you go. Here's the play.
This one sliced foul over the bullpen for the Oakland A's. Reddick 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. I don't know. I'd have to give it some thought, to be honest with you. This one fouled off third base side. Long run for Freeze with plenty of room here, but this one into the seats.
It's funny, when I was walking up after that pregame show, there was a fan at me because it was Gooby Tuesdays, and I told him what the question was going to be. He goes, I'd love an opportunity to catch the guy who threw a knuckleball. I said, that's amazing. That's what Weaver said. I'm thinking, that's the hardest pitch to catch.
Yeah.
It's a knuckleball. You can really look foolish trying to catch that.
Oh, I know. I had Charlie Huff for a little while.
Yeah, I remember that. You told me that.
Called strike 3. Down goes Reddick, and there's out number 1. It's different, I guess, for me. Yeah, there's out number 1. Go ahead, throw it around, Carlos. Reddick's not leaving the box. Now he does.
That was a great two-seam fastball.
I mean, it's not fair because I grew up, as a kid, playing catch with George Brett. Those guys coming up, so it's had a nice little share of
I can imagine
childhood heroes playing catch with Don Mattingly, so on and so forth. I think Karen would be cool.
Yeah. Bob Gibson would be fun too, because if you didn't catch it right, he might glare at you and say, "Hey, son, catch that ball better." Between him and the late Don Drysdale, many conversations about the art of pitching with those guys, the intimidation factor.
No balls, 2 strikes on Canna, who's hit a couple of fly ball outs tonight. 0 for 2. Two pitches for Shoemaker. 83rd is in the dirt. Evens the count at 2-2. Five strikeouts for Matt. 1 walk. 4 hits allowed. 19 pitches in the first inning. Gave up the home run to Brett Lard. Very good sense. Little 2-out hiccup in the second, but got out of it. Pulled to short. 2 down.
Going back to David DeJesus, who he said he loved to play catch with, Kenny Lofton. Kenny Lofton was Garrett Richards' favorite player growing up. We saw him in Cleveland, and he couldn't wait to get an opportunity to talk to him. Garrett Richards' favorite, Kenny Lofton.
Good old Kalo.
Well, he made some unbelievable plays in the Jake at that point. Now Progressive Field.
Steven Vogt takes upstairs. He's 0 for 2 with a fly ball to center to strikeout. Two and 0. Vogt takes just off the plate. Billy Butler on deck. I believe it's Stephen Vogt chair down in right field. Strike. Got dueling music makers today. The band in left, the drums out and right.
Surround sound.
Vogt, this one out towards center field. Trout moving back, and to his left is there. Shoemaker with a 1-2-3 6th. We head to the 7th. The Angels still on top.
Angels baseball is brought to you by Mercury Insurance. On a mission to save you money. Log on to MercuryInsurance.com to get a fast, free quote to see how much you can save. And by Hyundai, the Labor Day clearance event is going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Top of the 7th here in Oakland. The Angels with a 5-1 lead. Top of the order coming up. Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols to face Dan Otero, working his second inning of relief. A 1-2-3 6th inning. And now Otero has thrown 23 innings. No runs allowed against the Angels. Ties him with Darrell Knowles. Did it between 67 and 68. Cole. This one foul on the third base side. 0-1 count. 2 for 3 tonight. 2 singles and an RBI. He's also scored a run. No balls, 2 strikes. If it's a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Otero making his 5th appearance against the Angels this year. 6 1/3. Well, now 7 1/3. 2 hits, 5 strikeouts. Cole rips one out to deep right field. No more scoreless string for Dan Otero against the Angels. Huge big fly for Cole Calhoun. Makes it 6-1 Halos.
That's the way you break that scoreless streak up. What a swing. 21st home run of the season. Career high by a lot now for Cole Calhoun. And here's our top tier play of the game, brought to you by Arco on that swing on a 2-2 pitch. Cole Calhoun stays back on that well, and the drive in the lower part of his body to get that bat head out, and a good bat flip also. Wow, that baseball got out quickly.
Trout 1 for 1 with a single and 2 walks.
It's interesting. We showed that stat earlier in the game in first or second pitch. The batting average for Cole over 400. You see his first 2 pitches of him at a bat. Goes down quite a bit after that, but certainly wasn't the case on that 2-2 pitch.
This one pulled toward third. 1 down.
Now batting, number 5.
There's that graphic that you were talking about, but Cole and where he does most of his damage.
What great weight shift he had on that swing. Now he's all about very little different as far as the leg kick and where he wants that to be. He wants it down on the ground and then the swing path. Trout almost at the exact same time. Every hitter's different as far as their timing. Good to see some smiles in that dugout.
Ball and a strike on Albert, who's 0 for 2. guys, a lot of bodies now with the September call-ups.
And that's not a real big dugout to begin with.
Could be worse. It could have been in Boston. Clubhouse and dugout.
Yeah, the old Tiger Stadium would have been a treat too.
That bullpen,
the submarine,
the bunker. Albert fouls it off. 1-2 count.
Quite a few people down in that bullpen also.
All hands on deck. Two balls, two strikes. Albert shoots one out toward right field. Rennick has to race back. Makes the catch as he backpedals onto the track for out number 2. Hey, fans, the Angels host the Astros on September the 11th. That's a Friday night, and it's a 7:05 start. Fans in attendance will receive a Mike Trout Freedom shirt, courtesy of State Farm, while supplies last. Get your tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office, or you can do so online at angels.com. Should have done that read last night when the State Farm sign fell in left field.
Yeah, exactly, for a long time, too.
Like a good neighbor.
Yeah, State Farm is there.
The wall is not there. It's okay tonight. Gorilla Glue. You used it, didn't you?
Yes.
You went out there.
I didn't want to slow down the pace.
Murphy, 1 for 3. He doubled in the 5th. An RBI ground out in the 3rd. Two balls and two strikes. 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Cole Calhoun leading off this frame with a home run. His 21st of the year, 68th RBI. Murphy chops one up the middle. Simeon was shading David that way. And that'll do it for the Halos. But Cole adds to the Angels' lead with his big blast to right field.
Well, what a perfect swing. That weight shift, and then gets that pitch lower in the strike zone against Otero. First run he's allowed against the Angels in his career.
Of the game, tweet us your strongest fan photo to hashtag WestDataStrongFan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast, and it's brought to you by T-Mobile. Matt Shoemaker back to work here in the bottom of the 7th inning. He's got Butler, Smolinski, and Pridey up. Butler 0 for 2, twice is grounded out. The last time was the terrific play by Ibar from about the 25-yard line. Thereabouts.
Pretty close. What a play by Eric Ibar. You envision a couple of your Kansas City Chiefs receivers catching a couple of those passes right in that spot.
Just staying under the radar, that's all I'm saying.
Yep.
We shall talk after the season. One ball, 2 strikes. New left fielder for the Angels, Colin Cowgill. I'm sure he's thrilled to be back in the big leagues. It's May 25th he's been out. A couple of setbacks with that wrist injuries. This one's grounded up the middle. And Butler's on board with a leadoff single. Jake Smolinski at the plate. He's 0 for 2 with a line out and a ground out. Chrome play behind Butler at first base. Movement going on in the Angels pen. Looks like Wesley will be the first man up. Smolinski skies one on the right side, and Featherston drifts out to the outfield grass, puts it away for the first out. Still getting defensive swing, so good off-speed stuff and movement.
Very solid again tonight for Shoemaker.
Mike Bourne has also joined Wesley, right? Pridey, the center fielder, walked into second and grounded out of the 5th. That was the first one back. Oh, 2.
That's a good life on a 2-seam fastball, bringing it back in that inside corner against left-handed batters.
Butler able to take a pretty good lead over at first base. Nobody holding him on. Pridey takes what should have been strike 3.
That's a good pitch.
That's a really good pitch.
It froze Pridey and it hit the inside corner.
It froze Kerwin Danley too.
Look at the location and the target set. Didn't even move the glove.
I mean, you're right over that as an umpire. One ball, 2 strikes. Pridey pulls this one towards second. Featherston. A weird hop again. This infield, we've seen a lot of weird bounces. kind of almost ate up Taylor. They get the lead runner for out number 2. What looked to be like a Taylor made double play.
Exactly. Handcuffed him a little bit.
Well, with the football game that was played a couple days ago and have been played here, field gets chewed up. May look nice and plush and green in the infield and in the outfield. A lot of it, though, is some spray paint.
That's about as well as they can do under these conditions.
Simeon, a single in the second, a strikeout in the 5th. Two and out.
He's pulled off on that pitch, overthrew it.
Chewing 101 pitches now. Both Wright and Moore are ready to go.
Some beards working here.
Two one. Downstairs, 3 balls and a strike. That's about as similar a beard as you could find. I mean, that's pretty good.
What he has done his last 2 starts. He's covered 14 innings, 6 hits allowed, just 1 run. Combine those 2 starts together, very impressive for Shoemaker.
And it's a 2-out walk, so 2 men on. That's going to be it for Shoemaker. Yeah, second walk that Shoemaker issued on the night.
He's moving around a little bit.
Well, both Moore and Wright are ready to go. Sogard's the batter. Give him a little bit more rope here.
And Sogard got a base hit his last at bat, but coming into that last hit, he's just 2 for 14, Sogard against Shoemaker.
Sogard with a single in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Freese was playing back at third base. Sogard got his attention.
We've seen him do that with 2 outs a number of times. Where you don't think it's a bunt scenario where he's going to try to push a bunt down the third base line or bring it down the first base line. To try to do that with 2 outs and a man on third. It's been successful for him.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Slightly out in front of that all-speed pitch.
Yeah. Straight up full moon here at the Coliseum. Good speed on the bases with Pridey at second and Simeon at first. 0-2. Upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Out towards center. Trout broke back, now comes in a couple of steps, moves over, puts it away. No damage, and Matt Shoemaker through 7. Perhaps his last inning as we head to the 8th. Angels up 6-1.
Hope you stick around after the game for Angels Live. A plethora of good baseball to show you, especially so far. Jose Mota will join me. Have to talk about Matt Shoemaker, and Mike Social will hear from him about why he stuck with him there in the 7th inning. And, Jose wants to talk about, the bottom third of the lineup, getting the job done with a great approach at the plate. Looking here at the Oakland Coliseum, this dugout different than most that we have in baseball. Close proximity, a lot of attaboys for Shoemaker, and a different body language. These guys, Victor and Mark, seem to be having fun right now. And listen, baby steps, long way to go, but it's a start.
Yeah, there's no question. A lot better. You mentioned the approach to the plate. And the smiles you're seeing in that dugout, the energy, definitely helps out having David Freese back in there. He brings that energy, that clubhouse presence.
There's Ryan Dull making his major league debut. 32nd round pick in 2012 out of the University of North Carolina, Asheville. Between AA and AAA this year, 3-2 and a .74 ERA in 47 games. One ball, one strike on C.J. Cron. Cron 0 for 2. Had a sac fly in the 3rd inning. One ball, 2 strikes. Otero went 2 innings. Gave up 1 hit, and that was a home run to Cole Calhoun, the only run. And Otero's given up 23 innings against the Angels. Now 24 innings. Skies this one on the first base side. Canham racing over near the rail, and boy, if he got to that railing, would have made the catch. But you just keep on running here, looking at the baseball, and you think you're eventually going to get to that wall, and you just kind of forget where you're at.
It's amazing how much foul territory it is here. Just go as far as you can and just wait. As soon as you feel that dirt, you're going to know you're getting closer to that wall. Unable to track that one down, but close.
Cron goes down swinging for the first out.
Talked about that presence having David Freese coming in there and tapping him on the back, having fun. Tell you what, the guys just love having him around. Good job by Shu. Back-to-back excellent outings.
7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks for Shoemaker. Looks like Morin will be coming on in relief in the 8th inning. Mike continues to warm up in the pen. Eric Ibar tonight 0 for 3. Last time up, grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. Halos with 9 hits tonight, 5 for Oakland. Slider missing low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dole was the closer, had 12 saves at Double-A before getting the promotion to Triple-A. Pitched 12 Triple-A games. Called up with the expanded rosters. 2-2. Listed at 5'10". Remember Richie Lewis? Right-hander.
Yeah.
Big curveball from Florida State.
Big time curveball.
It kind of reminds me of Ibar pulls that single through the right side. So man on with 1 out. David Freese coming up.
So he's got his first strikeout out of the way, and he's also given up his first hit now.
Freese 1 for 3 and has returned to the lineup. First action since July 22nd when he broke his right index finger. Hit by a pitch.
Pretty long conversation with him earlier today. He was so excited just to get back and have a chance to start playing again.
Ibar takes off, throw from both, not in time.
Good secondary lead, reads that ball in the dirt, slides in and gets in a scoring position.
Ruled a passed ball on Stephen Vogt.
It's really all about not giving up, seeing that ball not get caught by Vogt. Trying to add on here, expand the lead.
One-two to Freese. Pops this one up on the right side. Sogard into the outfield grass. 2 outs.
Now batting, number 58, Carlos Perez.
Hold up again. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carlos 2 for 3 tonight. A couple of singles and a run scored.
Another solid job behind the plate, also calling a very good game for Shoemaker.
Oakland in the 8th has 2, 3, and 4 coming up. Laurie, Reddick, and Canna. Morin replacing Shoemaker.
Pretty sharp breaking ball.
A full count. Sharply hit over to second, a one hopper to Sogard, and we will head to the bottom of the 8th inning with the Angels leading at 6-1. For Matt Shoemaker, who in a solid 7 innings tonight. 30th game, 1-1 record, a 7.43 ERA. Consistency has been the biggest issue for Mike. And he'll have a new third baseman as Caleb Coward replaces David Freese at third base. Laurie shoots this one out to right field. Cole will track it down for the first out. Like that, 1 pitch, 1 out to start the 8th.
And you always like that, especially when you come into the bullpen.
One batter, and here comes Wesley Wright. As Mike Socha is going to match up here with 1 out in the 8th inning. Pitching change. We're in the 8th inning. 6-1 Halos. takes over on the mound. Wesley picked up by the Angels after getting released by the Orioles on July 22nd, making his Angels debut. And he'll be facing a left-hander. This is going to be a one-batter situation here, so Mike is going to throw 3 pitchers and try to get 3 outs here and get through the 8th inning with a 5-run lead.
Yeah, right. It's fastballs 85 to 87, 88 range. Slider, curveball, changeup. Very good changeup.
Wesley originally a 7th-round pick of the Dodgers in 2003. From high school in Alabama. He's 30 years old. Pitched just 2 games with the Orioles this year. 58 games last year with the Cubs. 2 balls, no strikes. It up on the right side. Featherston calls off throw. 2 outs. Mark Canha coming up. Joe Smith ready to go. It looks like Wesley's going to stay in there.
First baseman, number 20,
Leads you to believe then that Smith would pitch the 9th. Those are the things that we've talked about throughout the year when you talk about guys getting used or unavailable at certain nights. It's these type of things that get charted. I mean, Steve Solis, the bullpen coach, Mike Butcher also. But you know, Smitty's out there. He's throwing X amount of pitches. Those are every one of them are getting counted. They write it down.
It's not like you're just playing catch. You're getting heated up to get in this game at some point.
Canha 0 for 3.
It's a good breaking ball.
Wesley at AAA for the Angels. Pitched in 12 games, 12 and 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 13 strikeouts, 5 walks. An 0-1 record and a 1.42 ERA. Canha gets jammed and pops one out the left. Call it Cowgill underneath it. A's go down in order. We head to the 9th. Angels up 6-1.
High five, some smiles, greeting their new teammate. In this Angel debut, solid effort. It's good to see those smiles and having fun with Wesley. Did a nice job. Good breaking ball, too.
RJ Alvarez takes over now for Ryan Dole. Dole in his major league debut went 1 inning. Gave up a hit and had his first big league strikeout.
RJ Alvarez in the game, former Angel, was in the Houston Street Trevor Gott deal.
He's got Featherston, Calhoun, and Trout here tonight. First one in for a strike. Taylor 1 for 3. Activated off the 15-day disabled list today. Put in the lineup at second base. An 0-2 count. Alvarez, a third-round pick by the Angels in 2012 out of FAU, Florida Atlantic University. To San Diego, as you mentioned, the Houston Street deal, and came over to Oakland in the Derek Norris deal. Count remains at 0-2.
Good at bats tonight for Featherston. At a base hit, it looked like he was going to get a second hit, but an incredible play by Simeon at shortstop to complete a 6-4-3 double play, and a well-hit baseball that Reddick tracked down at right.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and it's Houston Street getting ready, so Joe Smith will not pitch tonight. Featherston takes a called strike, 3-1 down. There's Cole Calhoun, a 3-hit game, 2 singles and a home run.
Cole Calhoun.
Home run for Cole, his 21st of the year. Just 2 RBIs tonight. 69 on the season. This one's fouled back. One. 2-1. Trout on deck. Sky. Middle part of the field. Simeon, the shortstop, calling for it. 2 down.
Big game, though, for Cole. Some good swings throughout. Just got underneath that one.
Now batting, number 27, Mike Trout.
So Trout now up. Hitless tonight. Pardon me, 1 hit tonight. 1 for 2. 2 walks. He's got one of the 10 hits for the Angels. Mike's also scored a run. Halo scoring 4 times in the 3rd inning. Added 1 in the 4th, then 1 on the Calhoun home run in the 7th. The lone Oakland run was the home run by Brett Laurie in the 1st inning. 2-0. Fouled back. 2-1.
He was on that one. 95-mile-an-hour fastball down in the strike zone, though.
Tomorrow afternoon, Sonny Gray and Andrew Heaney. 12:35 first pitch. Angels live pregame show will kick things off at noon. Two at 2. Bottom of the ninth inning, Oakland has both Butler and Smolinski duo, barring a pinch hitter. Cody Martin got the start tonight. First major league start. Pitched into the 4th inning, but gave up 5 runs. Poor reliever Simpson has ground fouls this one off. We'll reset and do it again at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Another payoff pitch. Trout takes a called strike 3. And Alvarez has a 1-2-3 ninth. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th inning with the Angels up 6-1. One. Houston Street getting some work in here. Will be facing Vogt, Butler, and Smolinski unless Bob Melvin decides to send out a pinch hitter or 2. Houston pitching in his 51st game, 3-2 record, and a 2.61 ERA. Came up with the Oakland Athletics, the 05 Rookie of the Year for the A's.
The catcher, number 21.
Getting some work here. It's been some time since he last pitched. Matter of fact, Thursday night against the Tigers. Shutout victory. Houston picked up his 31st save of the season. So Vogt looks at a strike. Vogt 0 for 3. A couple of fly balls to center and a strikeout. Shoots this one to left field. That'll get down for a hit. Talgill cuts it off. So the leadoff man on board for Oakland to start the ninth.
Going the other way, Vogt. Uses the whole field.
Designated hitter, number 16, Billy Butler.
Butler singled his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Two balls, no strikes. A very short lead over at first base. Butler cuts through this one. Evens the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. A 3-1 count. Butler flared beyond the reach of Crone, and it's a fair ball. Vogt will end up at third base. A single by Billy Butler, and the A's have runners at the corners with nobody out.
Well-placed flare. Not often you see that pop up like that, lands in the dirt in the infield, and they end up getting a base hit.
Now batting, left fielder, number 5, Jake Smolinski.
Smolinski 0 for 3. Five-run lead here in the ninth inning. Infield playing back, looking for the double play ball. Halo's trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. Dropped to 3 over the weekend in Cleveland. The opener of this series last night. Smolinski swinging a miss, 1-2.
Good slider off the plate.
Matt Shoemaker looking for his 7th win. Back-to-back good starts for Matt. 7 innings tonight, 1 run. That was the home run to Brett Laurie in the first inning. 5 strikeouts and 2 walks. And the dirt gets away, and the run will score. So it's 6-2 now. Butler to second.
Well, in front of the plate, tried to get his body in front. Carlos Perez could not keep that in front of him.
There's a little flare out to shallow center field. Featherston racing out there. He will make a catch. First out. Nice play by Taylor.
Look how far he had to go to get that baseball. Well played by Featherston. He had to go a long, long way. Going back, he's run into an area. Trout was playing deep and no doubles defense. Featherston, outstanding play.
So 1 out. Butler standing at second, and Jason Pridey, the center fielder, at the plate. Pridey's 0 for 2. Drew a walk back in the second. Friday, one of the call-ups for the A's. Foul tips down with 0-2. Couple of singles to start off this 9th inning and a wild pitch, bringing in the 1 run so far. And down goes Pridey. 2 outs.
Solid changeup, 82-mile-an-hour changeup from Houston Street. Way out in front. Barely tipped it, held on to by Carlos Perez.
Simeon, the shortstop, 1 for 2. A single, a strikeout, and a walk. Oh, 2. Simeon making a couple of terrific defensive plays tonight with the Anso guard. A couple of double plays turned the 4th and 5th innings. Check swing. They wanted appeal. Did not go. 1-2. It's Chad Fairchild at first base. He'll be behind the plate tomorrow afternoon. Andrew Heaney, Sonny Gray on the mound. The 1-2.
It's that outside corner, lower outside corner that has not been called.
Entire night. Two now. Jimmy check swing. He went around, light that baby up as the Angels snap their 4-game losing streak. They take this one by the final of 6-2.
It's one of those total team efforts here tonight. Carlos Perez is very good behind the plate, swinging the bat. Also, Cole Calhoun had a big game. Matt Shoemaker dealt once again for 7 very good innings, and Houston Street able to finish off the 9th inning. But what a job. Solid defense, and Featherston, solid game himself. Great to have David Freese back. Base hit, solid effort, bringing that leadership back for the club. They need that, and there's a lot of smiles in that dugout throughout this entire game, which was great to see.
Matt Shoemaker picking up his 7th win, a terrific outing for him for the 2nd consecutive time, and good for him to build.